You were talking about the aware, no, the observer of the observer, or the awareness, to be aware of the awareness. And oh, my heart is beating. And I also saw it almost like a recipe or so. You can say that you are listening to the silence, feeling the inner space, and then it was my mind is like
I can't help you because I don't remember things.
no, and inner space, and then awareness, and then the awareness of the awareness.
Yes.
So my question is that I didn't really grasp that one.
Okay. Awareness of awareness. Okay. Basically, it's all the same thing, but you start with, for example, listening to the silence, and that's already a wonderful thing if you're able to do that. The step after that is becoming aware of what that actually means, what that is in yourself, not through thinking about it, but through experiencing that a bit more. So let's do it now. You listen to the silence, which in the first instance, it is an auditory thing that happens, because your attention is on the auditory sense perception, and you go, so the focus of your attention is on hearing or listening. And so, for example, right now, the next thing you notice, you're not actually listening to anything, because silence is the absence of sound. Then you become aware of what is there in the absence of the sense perception. There is only a presence. In that presence, there could arise a sound. So you're listening, and then the sound arises and subsides. And then again, what's left after the sound arises and subsides? Stillness again. What is that stillness, you ask yourself, not through words, but through investigation, you go within, and then you realize that it goes far beyond anything auditory. It's actually your own presence that you become aware of, because there's an absence of perception, auditory perception. Sounds very complicated, doesn't it? The mind becomes still through listening to the silence. The moment you pay attention to it, don't even call it listening, you notice that there is silence here. You notice it. Oh. Okay. In that moment of noticing, you are not thinking. You can't. Because if you're thinking, you can say, oh, there's silence, but you can only say that because there was a moment before that when you actually notice it without the thought. So right now, when you, again, listen to the silence and you go, or I can ask you, is there silence in the room or is there a sound? And you go, oh. In that moment, there's no thought, because all your attention goes somewhere else, into sense perception. Right? Is that true? So, listening to the silence is an entry point into inner stillness. So it's the doorway into stillness. Stillness means you are conscious, obviously, but not thinking. There's no thought activity, but there is consciousness. So the entry point can be, it's not the only one, the entry point can be listening to silence. And then you notice you're not thinking. But you also notice that you haven't disappeared. The essence of who you are although you don't remember when you're not thinking, you don't even remember your name or your personal history, and yet you are there. The essence of you is there. That has no form. And then you become aware that you are aware right now. The only thing that you cannot doubt, as I pointed out before, the only thing that's absolutely real, that is beyond any doubt, is the fact that you are conscious. Even putting it like that is not perhaps entirely correct, because if I use those words, if I say, I am conscious, it still creates a division between I and consciousness. If I say, you are conscious, consciousness is like something that you have. But consciousness is not something that you have. You are consciousness. The essence of you is, without consciousness, you are not there. You are consciousness. So, in that moment of stillness, you can become aware of your own consciousness, self-aware of your own presence. Don't think about it. I think what is the obstacle that you have right now, the last obstacle to the full realization of it, you're still trying to figure something out through thinking about it.
And the light.
Yes. Well, I have to endure the light all the time. Well, that's what I need. So your mind is still coming. Your mind is refusing to get out of the way so that you can take the step into no mind. So your mind is saying, no, just explain more what that is. I haven't really fully understood what being aware of awareness is. Beyond what I have said just now, there's nothing to be said. So you need to step off the edge and go into that space. And perhaps the way of putting it, conscious of being conscious, maybe it's not a good pointer for you. That doesn't matter. It's a pointer that is helpful for many people, but there are many possible pointers. The arising of inner stillness is good enough to find that there's a deep essence in yourself that is stillness. But let's try again. What is the most important thing about you is the fact that you are conscious. You are conscious. The rest may be a dream. It probably is a kind of dream because everything evaporates fairly quickly. Everything is impermanent, whatever you perceive in your life, even to this morning's breakfast, yesterday's sessions here, or when you leave here, you wake up the next day at home and you say, okay, was that retreat, did that actually happen? Or did I dream that thing? And maybe for a few seconds, you're not sure whether it happened or whether it was a dream. And it doesn't really matter. You can doubt all these things, but even if it was a dream, you must have been there as consciousness in which the dream happened. So that is the one thing that you cannot doubt, that you are consciousness. This is a more accurate way of putting it than to say that you are conscious. The essence of you is, can you sense in that moment of stillness now that you are conscious, you are present?
Yes.
That's it. Oh, did it.